Hi, my name is Paweł Spychalski and today a review of the radio transmitter that made some waves in the lake of the stability the FrSky was enjoying for the last few months. Today a review of the Jumper T16. Like I said, quite a late review because there is a lot of reviews out there, but I actually waited to wait, if this is worth anything, of the Jumper T16, and my opinion is this a good radio worth switching to from something else or getting as your new radio. Let's begin. Let's begin with the things that I like. First of all, it's small, it's relatively compact, it's really nice fit to the hands. The gimbals are positional, let's say, close to the outer edges, so you can, without any problems, do both pinching method, which I'm usually doing I'm always doing when flying FPV, and also you can do with your thumbs when I'm doing in the loss. So it's fine. The original tension on the gimbal, it's fine. They move pretty much smoothly. It's not like the best experience ever, but the gimbals feel fine, the gimbals feel good. And this is something I never seen before. There is a small screw over here. With screwing this in or out, you can change the angle of the gimbal. So the gimbal moves slightly outside, and it's even simpler to be used by someone with, let's say, small hands, short thumbs or anything like that. So on the topic of the general ergonomy, it's really a decent small radio. It's really very nice radio to be using somewhere in the field. Relatively, I wouldn't want to say light, but it's not heavy as well. Next thing I like, great switches. I already said this when I did the teardown of this radio. The switches really feel amazing. And they really have this nice detent that makes you feel that this is something that will not break immediately. So this is cool. The LCD screen is nice, it's shiny, it's visible in the full light, the colors are fine, everything is visible. The radio balances more or less perfectly with the grip, which is, let's say, not something that's happening very often, so you can just put it on your neck strap and have it on your neck. Very nice thing. Software, it's the regular OpenTX. I know that this is branded as the Jumper TX, but this is OpenTX inside, so all the features of the OpenTX are there. You can do whatever you want with your radio, programs, switches, conditions, mixers, everything is just there. And the plastics over here, in the beginning I was not, let's say, sold with this ABS, but then after using this for 3-4 weeks, I really think that this is fine. This is fine. Good looking radio, nice to use. Gimbals are fine, the software is fine, the buttons are where they are, and really lovely switches. And of course, because this radio can work only with the external module, there is no external radio module. So okay, this is transmitter, not a radio. You can put whatever you want as your radio, R9M, Crossfire, this multi-protocol module that it comes bundled with, anything you want. The carrying handle with this profiling over here, so maybe it's, but come on, how often do you carry a radio like this? And of course, this is not a perfect radio, and let me start explaining why this is not the perfect radio and why some of the things over here are not, well, let's say, the best. Let me turn it off. Okay, I would prefer the switch. I got used to this long held button with my X10s from FrSky, so it would be fine. And this is not what I'm getting to. First problem number one are those two pots. They are very flimsy. Maybe they are precise enough, but they kind of move everywhere. And this is not what, let's say, they do not feel as good as the switches. But even worse than this are those two sliders over here. They are useless crap, honestly. Not only they are absolutely not precise, but they have so small resistance during the movement of those that you can just flip them fully accidentally during usage, and the detail inside is were very flimsy, so it's like, no, those two sliders are really useful. Not useful, useless. Next, this rotary encoder that on the X10S has a form of the knob. The knob is much better. This rotary encoder is, well, let's say, it's really hard to get to the its acceleration of the thing is not good enough, and it doesn't really feel good. But my biggest actually problem with the ergonomics of the radio are those three buttons. This is the model, page and tele, which are black letters on the black surface, and if you do not learn them by heart, you will get trouble to getting which button does. I really was struggling for like 2 weeks to remember that, okay, this is model, this is page. Somehow it does not, at least for me, it does not feel right. But once you get to it, then you will be more or less fine. And of course, this button that you usually do not use, and the return button that you use from time to time. On the bad things. Oh, this. There are 6 buttons that replace the 6-position rotary encoder that you can find on other radios, and in theory this is a great idea. And this is a great idea because if you want to assign something to the position 3, you just press the, let me turn this on.
Welcome to Jumper T16.
You just press the 3 and position 3 is set. Seems like it's a great idea, but it isn't, because those are buttons, not a rotary encoder. You cannot really use those with your FPV goggles on. With the rotary encoder, even with having the goggles on, you can, okay, I remember that right now I'm on the position 2, I'm just gonna flip it one position right to the position 3 and it's fine. Here you would have to go blindly with your finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is 6, I'm going 6. So no, unfortunately no. It's fine when you are doing stuff, well, preparing to flight or doing line of sight, but even if line of sight, you do not really watch too much on the screen. So I'm not using the rotary encoder very often, and I'm not saying that the rotary 6-position switch over here is the best thing since sliced bread, but it isn't. But it's better than this one. Unfortunately, it's better than this one because those can be used only in the loss situation, never, almost never in the FPV, which is kind of like too bad. And thing I like, I don't like, for me it was, let's say, transparent issue, but for many of you who might want to get this radio, it might be a problem. By default, it comes only with a bracket for the 18650 LiPos, and there are no LiPos, and this radio cannot charge the 18650 inside. So to the price of the transmitter, to the Jumper T16, you have to add 2 18650 batteries, and you have to add the charger, because you cannot just charge it like that. So 160 plus, let's say, 20, 30, maybe 40 bucks. So if you have some batteries and the charger, then this is not a problem, but if not, this is something you will have to attach. And this is also, I showed during the teardown, I'm afraid that those rubbery things over here might wear off in the future, but this is not a problem yet, but this is not very heavily used radio by me. Back to the gimbals. The precision of the gimbals is, it's fine. They are analog gimbals, not the Hall effect gimbals, but still they feel fine, and but they are brand new. They will wear off sooner or later. Usually the throttle when the mini quad flying wears off the first, because you usually move the throttle the most, and yeah. So okay, this is what I can show you about the T16. Let's go to the conclusion. So, final verdict. Is the Jumper T16 a good radio? Yes, this is the radio that is a very reasonably priced for the capabilities it presents and for the quality it's built with. It's, in my opinion, is much better radio than every FrSky, not FR, but why they made the name so similar? FrSky. This is also a better radio than Taranis Q X7 without S in the end. This is very important. Without S in the end. Yes, it is more expensive than Taranis Q X7, but it has much more functions, possibilities. It's nicer to maintain and to build and to use every day. And this, if you are thinking about getting a Q X7, then if for a few bucks more, you might think about getting the T16. It's more feature packed than the Taranis X9D. On the other hand, I'm not really sure that this is a better radio than the Taranis X9D. For sure, it has more features, a nicer display, and more stuff you can do with it. But I really don't think that this is a better radio than X9D. It might be better for some of the cases, but let's X9D works every time, every single day. It's almost indestructible. It's not dying out of itself. It has internal radio. It has a bay to external radio and stuff like that. This, let's say, lacks a little. So if you are thinking maybe I should buy X9D or T16, then it's really up to you. Nicer looking, newer design, nice LCD. On the other hand, the original Taranis, you can put better gimbals on it. They are very proved and reliable, and they are just, well, the radios that made the mini quad hobby where it is right now. So, but also the X9D, of course, is slightly more expensive, and for example the sliders work and you get the radio with the battery, and this not so really. But Q X7, no battery inside as well, so they are more or less different cases. But is this a better radio than the X10S from FrSky that FrSky was bitching around that they cloned this? No. Just like that, no. X10S is like 2 leagues above this radio, mostly in the quality of the gimbals, the built-in features, and the built-in battery, and the internal radio, and the better quality of the sliders, and the better quality of the gimbals. I said that, better plastic and stuff like that, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. So you cannot really compare this to the X10 or X10S. I'm not even talking about X12 or something like that. Completely different league. But this costs more or less a third of the X10S. So really, it's really, you cannot really compare. If you are looking for a new radio, or you are just entering the hobby and you have some crazy old stuff that is almost useless, and you are thinking, yeah, maybe Q X7, but the Q X7, then it like looks not good, the LCD is crappy because it is not enough switches, blah 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 blah, then think about this one. If you have enough money to get yourself X10, go with X10. If you want something really very reliable and still one of the best options on the market, consider X9D. But this is better than probably everything else. We still don't know how about the quality of and the reliability and the lifetime of this device. We know that, for example, Bruce Simpson has some problems with the SD card slot. Yeah, okay, it happens. We know that the gimbals will wear off and that you will have to replace them sooner or later with the heavy usage, but also the same happens for the Q X7 without S in the end, non-Hall effect gimbals. So good radio, not the best. Think about pros and cons. Definitely good looking, very reasonably priced for the features, but they could really change a few things. If, for example, this one, they increase the price slightly, put the Hall effect gimbals, get rid of those sliders which are just the useless crap ever, improve those pots over here and replace those 6 switches with something you can use with your FPV goggles on, this would be fantastic, amazing. Then this radio would be really a very, very nice competition to what FrSky is having in the whole line of the products. Right now it's really very good competition towards the Q X7 and all the cheap radios from the FrSky. So I'm not really sure about X9D, but not X10 or X12 because absolutely no. But if you are thinking about getting a FlySky or some other thingies like that, then definitely this is just better in so many ways. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you liked what I just babbled about in the last probably 18 minutes, then please thumbs up, maybe please do subscribe, because why not? And until the next one, bye bye.